Because, I mean, I'm a Ghanaian and as a journalist as well, I hear looks like there's a certain appetite and temperature for accountability for corruption and corruption-related matters. Every time the Attorney General mounts your podium and gives an account on where he is with certain corruption and corruption-related cases, the country really gets our full attention. Yeah. The whole fight against corruption and corruption-related matters in this country, what's your personal assessment before we take it?
Well, I think that it was obvious that there was simply too much waste and corruption and theft of public resources. I think that you in the media were the ones who used to bombard us with corruption scandal after corruption scandal. And it got to a point where people simply became fatigued and simply came to the conclusion that there was a need to change government in order that those who are believed to have engaged in such corruption are held to account. The NDC tabled the Operation Cover All Routes as a proposition to the people as a main tool through which we will ensure that accountability is demanded from public office holders. And since we've been in power, a lot has been done. There are 280 cases, different cases of corruption that are being looked into. And you recall that the president set up the Oral Preparatory Committee, and their task was just to put together information relating to these alleged cases. They presented a report with the 280 cases, and I can tell you that the Attorney General has commissioned investigations into each of them. You see, the report itself could not have formed the basis for any legal action against anybody because they were just reports. It's like you coming to tell me that your cameraman has done the ABCD. I cannot simply say that because you have said it, then I hold him and throw him into jail. I mean, it will not make sense.
How then did you put a value on it, on how much we could recover?
No, so for instance,
that's an estimate?
It's an estimate. So that if this phone costs 200 cedis and it was stolen, that is the amount involved. If you were held accountable for stealing it, it means that you had engaged in corruption to the tune of 200 Ghana. So you put all the figures involved together. There are some that you can recover. Others may yet be difficult because of the nature of the offense. But the point I'm making is that all the 280 cases are receiving attention. I can tell you that more than 100 people have been hauled in for questioning. Some have been arrested. Some were detained for some time. Some have been granted bail. And others too are in court. There are over 20 cases whose dockets are almost done and will be going to court. The Attorney General has already proceeded to court on a number of those cases. So everything is being done to fully implement Operation Cover All Routes. I understand that because of the pervasive nature of the corruption in the recent past, people want to see results and they want it done in a rapid fashion. Government appreciates that fully, except that oral itself has to be done in accordance with Ghanaian law. We cannot act extrajudicially. So anybody accused of wrongdoing must be taken through a process, and the process will end up in a court. When the Attorney General prepares his case and goes to court, it is a court that is in control of the management of the case, a court that determines the timelines within which the case is heard, not the Attorney General. The Attorney General's role is to show up and present evidence that Mr. A or Mr. B has done A, B, C, D, and therefore believes that he has offended Ghanaian law and should be held to account. The court then determines when the case is heard. The court determines how the process is conducted, and then the court determines when the case ends. So it is not within the power of the Attorney General or government to determine the duration of a case.